Hey guys, tonight we're going to try something simple, something your future self will thank you for. Imagine waking up tomorrow with no rush, no chaos, no endless scrolling on your phone. Just calm focus, like the world has been put on quiet mode, just for you. That's the promise of Buddhist morning wisdom. And if you've ever had mornings that felt like a stampede of emails and coffee spills, you know exactly why this matters. Let's be honest. Without some grounding, mornings can feel like the boss level of daily life, and you're not given the cheat codes. You'd barely survive it. And yet here you are, searching for a better way. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here at Zen Sleep Stories. And hey, I'd love for you to drop a comment below with where you're watching from and what time it is there. It's always fascinating to see our little global community come alive in the chat. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. We begin with the stillness of morning, a space so easily overlooked, yet powerful enough to shape your entire day. In Buddhism, the first hour after waking is like wet clay. It takes the shape of whatever hands mold it. If those hands are stress and distraction, the clay cracks. If they're intention and gratitude, it hardens into something smooth and steady. That's why monks have treated mornings as sacred for over 2,000 years. Tonight, I'll guide you through 6 gentle habits rooted in that same wisdom. Habits you can actually use tomorrow. Little by little, they can change not just how you wake up, but how you move through every part of your life. Take a slow breath in and out, and allow yourself to arrive here. The morning may not be here yet, but the seed of it is being planted now. And just like any garden, the way you tend it will decide how it grows. 1. Mindful breathing, starting your day with stillness. Picture this. The alarm goes off. Your hand reaches for the phone, and before your feet even touch the floor, you're hit with notifications, emails, and a flood of things demanding your attention. That's how most mornings begin. And, if we're being honest, it sets the tone for the whole day, rushed, scattered, and reactive. But imagine if the very first thing you did in the morning wasn't to reach for your phone, but instead to reach for your breath. Just 3 slow, steady breaths before anything else. That's the foundation of mindful breathing, one of the simplest yet most powerful Buddhist practices. There's an old story of a monk who once told the Buddha, "Master, my mind feels heavy the moment I wake up. It runs ahead to all the tasks of the day." The Buddha asked gently, "And where does your breath go?" The monk thought about it and said, "I don't notice it." Buddha smiled. "That is why your mind is unsettled. Anchor yourself to your breath, and the rest will follow. Your breath is like a reset button. When you focus on it, you bring yourself back to the present moment. No to-do list, no yesterday's worries, no future anxieties. Just the steady rhythm of being alive right now. Science even backs this up. Studies show that 5 minutes of mindful breathing in the morning reduces stress hormones, lowers blood pressure, and increases focus throughout the day. Let's make it real. Take Helen, for example. She used to wake up like most of us do, checking emails before she even got out of bed, already stressed before her first sip of coffee. Her mornings were chaos, but after she learned mindful breathing, she made one small change. 3 slow breaths before she touched her phone. She noticed that with those breaths, she carried more calm into her morning commute, more patience into her meetings, and more clarity into her choices. Her day stopped controlling her. She started shaping it. Now, here's how you can try it tomorrow morning. As soon as you wake up, sit up in bed or find a comfortable position. Close your eyes and take 3 long, slow breaths. Focus on the rise and fall of your chest, the air moving in and out of your nose. Each time your mind wanders, just come back to the breath. It doesn't have to be long. Even 2 minutes of this can shift your whole morning. The breath is your anchor, and every time you return to it, you remind yourself, you are here now, and you have control over how this day begins. And before we move on, I'd love to hear from you. What's the very first thing you usually do when you wake up? Be honest. Drop it in the comments, and maybe tomorrow you'll replace it with just one deep breath. The power of mindful breathing is that it plants you firmly in the present moment. And once you're there, it's much easier to notice and appreciate what you already have. Which brings us to the next morning habit, one that flips your mindset from scarcity to abundance in just a few seconds, the practice of gratitude. 2. Practicing gratitude, shifting from scarcity to abundance. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and instead of thinking about what you don't have, what you need to do, or what's already stressing you out, you start with a different lens. You pause, you breathe, and you whisper to yourself 3 simple things you're thankful for. It could be as small as the comfort of your blanket, the sound of birds outside your window, or the cup of coffee you know is waiting for you. This is gratitude in its simplest form, and it has the power to shift your entire mindset before the day even begins. There's a Buddhist story about a man who once approached the Buddha and asked, "Why am I always unhappy, even though I have everything I need?" The Buddha replied, "Because you are focused on what you don't have. You overlook what you do have, and that clouds your heart." He encouraged the man to start each morning by naming 3 things he was grateful for. That simple shift from dwelling on scarcity to recognizing abundance was the cure to his unhappiness. Gratitude isn't just a nice idea. It's a practice that rewires your brain. Neuroscience shows that when you regularly focus on gratitude, your brain strengthens pathways associated with positive thinking. People who do this consistently report lower anxiety, better sleep, and stronger immune systems. Gratitude literally changes the way your brain processes the world. Instead of scanning for threats or problems, your mind begins to notice the good. Think about Robert's story. He was overwhelmed by work deadlines, constant relationship stress, and a feeling that life was just too much. Each morning he woke up anxious, already tense before his day had even started. But when he discovered gratitude through Buddhist teachings, he decided to give it a try. At first it felt silly. He couldn't think of anything grand to be grateful for, but he started small. The roof over his head, the food in his fridge, the fact that he was alive to see another morning. Over time, something shifted. His anxiety softened. He noticed small moments of joy throughout his day. A smile from a co-worker, a walk in the sun, the taste of a simple meal. Gratitude became his anchor. His outer circumstances hadn't drastically changed, but his inner world had. You can start the same way. Tomorrow morning, after your mindful breathing, pause for just 1 minute. Ask yourself, what are 3 things I'm thankful for right now? They don't need to be dramatic or life-changing. Maybe it's the softness of your pillow, the sound of your partner's laugh, or the fact that you have clean water waiting in the kitchen. If you want to deepen the practice, write them down in a notebook. Over time, you'll have a personal collection of gratitude moments, a reminder of abundance you can return to whenever life feels heavy. Here's the beautiful part. Gratitude doesn't just make you feel good in the moment. It shifts the way you meet challenges. When life throws you stress, gratitude gives you perspective. Instead of focusing on what's missing, you remember what's present. Instead of feeling powerless, you realize there's already so much supporting you. That's what makes gratitude a practice of resilience, not just positivity. And gratitude isn't only about yourself. You can send silent gratitude to others too. Think about someone who's helped you, even in a small way. Picture them and quietly say, "Thank you." You don't even have to tell them. The act itself softens your heart and strengthens connection. Studies have shown that people who practice gratitude regularly report stronger relationships and greater compassion for others. So let's try it together, right now. Take a slow breath in And as you exhale, think of just one thing you're grateful for today. Hold it in your mind for a few seconds. Feel how your body shifts as you focus on it. That's gratitude working in real time. And while you're here, I'd love for you to share one thing you're grateful for this morning in the comments. It might inspire someone else who needs the reminder. Gratitude transforms the way we see the world. Instead of scarcity, we begin to notice abundance. Instead of anxiety, we begin to feel grounded. It's a gentle but powerful way to shape your mornings, and it sets the stage for another habit that takes this idea one step further. Because when we learn to appreciate what we have, the natural next step is to extend kindness to others. And that is where compassion enters the picture, carrying the warmth of gratitude into the way we treat ourselves and the people around us. 3. Practicing compassion. Opening the heart. Imagine starting your morning not just with calm breath and gratitude, but with a genuine wish for others to be well. Compassion is more than a feeling. It's a practice that expands your sense of connection and softens the edges of your day. In Buddhist teachings, compassion is one of the 4 immeasurables, qualities that have no limit. When you bring compassion into your morning, you invite peace and kindness to guide your choices before anything else has a chance to shape your mood. There is a story about a man who once approached the Buddha full of anger. He spat in the Buddha's face, expecting rage in return, but the Buddha simply wiped his face and asked calmly, "Is that all? Or do you have more to say?" The man was stunned. Instead of meeting hate with hate, the Buddha met him with compassion. That unexpected response shifted the man's entire life. Compassion doesn't mean weakness. It's the strength to choose peace when negativity tries to pull you under. Think of compassion as a ripple. When you send it out in the morning, it moves through every interaction you have, touching people you may never even realize. And here's the important part. Compassion begins with yourself. If you can't offer yourself kindness, it's hard to extend it to others. Starting your day with compassion meditation is a gentle way to practice. Here's how you can try it tomorrow. Sit quietly for a few minutes after your breathing and gratitude practice. Picture someone you love and silently say, "May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease." Let those words sink in. Then picture a friend, an acquaintance, even a stranger, and repeat the same words. Finally, turn the compassion inward. Say to yourself, "May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live with ease." You'll notice your heart softening, your mind becoming lighter. This isn't just spiritual talk. Research shows that compassion meditation increases oxytocin, the hormone that builds trust and bonding. It lowers stress, boosts resilience, and even strengthens your immune system. Studies have shown that people who practice compassion regularly experience greater satisfaction in life and more stable emotional health. Take Lara's story. She was a nurse working long hours, exhausted and burned out. Every morning felt like a struggle, and she started to feel disconnected from her patients. Then she learned about loving kindness meditation. She began spending 5 minutes each morning sending compassion to herself, to her patients, and to the world. Over time, her work transformed. She felt more patient, more present, more fulfilled. Compassion didn't change the demands of her job, but it changed how she met them. You don't need hours to practice compassion. Even a single thought wishing someone well instead of judging them can shift your entire perspective. Imagine being stuck in traffic and, instead of stewing in frustration, you silently wish the driver ahead of you peace and safety. That single moment changes your own experience, softening irritation into calm. And while we're here together, take a moment to think of someone in your life who could use a little extra compassion. Hold their image in your mind. Whisper those words, "May you be happy. May you be safe." Let that thought flow outward. Notice how it makes you feel. Compassion heals the giver as much as the receiver. If you're finding this practice meaningful, let me know in the comments. Share how you might bring compassion into your morning routine. Your story could inspire someone else who needs that spark of kindness. Compassion connects us. It opens our hearts, calms our minds, and makes space for deeper peace. But compassion is only one part of shaping the day ahead. Once you've breathed deeply, practiced gratitude, and opened your heart, there's one more step. Deciding how you want to live out the hours in front of you. That's where the power of intention comes in, guiding your focus and shaping your path before the day has a chance to pull you in every direction. 4. Setting intentions. Choosing your path before the world chooses for you. Think about how most days begin. You wake up already running through a mental checklist of tasks, emails, and responsibilities. Before you've even had your coffee, the day has claimed you. But what if instead you claim the day first? That's the power of setting an intention in the morning. It's not about a long to-do list. It's about deciding how you want to move through the day, what energy you want to bring into each moment, and what version of yourself you want to show up as. In Buddhist teachings, this practice is tied to the concept of right intention, a part of the Noble Eightfold Path. It means aligning your thoughts and actions with mindfulness, kindness, and compassion. When you set an intention, you're choosing the lens through which you'll see the world. Without it, you react to everything around you. With it, you respond with clarity and purpose. Jack, a middle school teacher, used to wake up overwhelmed. His mornings were rushed, and by the time he reached his classroom, he already felt drained. One day he learned about intention setting. Instead of letting his stress control him, he began his mornings by choosing a simple thought. Today, I will be patient and present for my students. At first, it felt like just words, but over time those words shaped his behavior. He found himself breathing more before reacting, listening more deeply, and carrying less tension home at the end of the day. His work didn't change, but his relationship with it did. Setting an intention doesn't have to be complicated. After your mindful breathing, gratitude, and compassion practice, pause for a moment, close your eyes, take a breath, and ask yourself, how do I want to show up today? The answer might be a single word: calm, kind, focused, grateful. Or it might be a short phrase: I will listen with an open heart. I will move through the day with ease. I will choose patience over frustration. Speak it silently to yourself or write it down. This is your compass for the day. Science supports this too. Neuroscientists have found that setting an intention activates the reticular activating system in the brain, which filters information. It means your brain will notice opportunities, patterns, and choices that align with the intention you've set. In other words, when you declare what you're focusing on, your brain helps you stay aligned with it. You train your mind to look for what matters. Let's practice together right now. Close your eyes for a moment, take a slow breath, and think about tomorrow. What energy do you want to carry into your morning? Do you want calm, patience, gratitude? Hold that word in your mind. Imagine yourself moving through the day with that quality present in everything you do. That's the seed of intention being planted. The beauty of this practice is that it doesn't take more than a minute, yet it can change the entire trajectory of your day. Instead of being pulled in every direction, you return to your chosen path again and again. Even when stress shows up, you have a touchstone to return to. And I'd love to know, if you were to set an intention for tomorrow morning, what would it be? Share it in the comments. You might be surprised how declaring it out loud or typing it out makes it more real. Setting an intention is like drawing a map before you start a journey. Without it, you wander. With it, you move with purpose. And once your mind has direction, the next step is to bring your body into harmony. Because mornings are not just for shaping the mind, they're also for honoring the body. Which is why the next habit invites you to move with awareness, turning even the smallest gestures into moments of presence. 5. Mindful movement, bringing the body into the practice. Most mornings in modern life begin in a rush. You roll out of bed, maybe stretch for a second, then it's coffee, keys, and out the door. The body goes on autopilot while the mind races ahead. But in Buddhist practice, the body isn't just a vehicle to get you from one task to another. It's a sacred space, a partner to the mind. And when you bring awareness into your movements, you invite balance between the two. There's a teaching that meditation doesn't only happen on the cushion. Every step you take, every stretch of your muscles can become meditation if you bring presence into it. Buddha himself once explained that mindful walking was just as valuable as sitting meditation because it allowed awareness to live in motion. The practice isn't about perfection, it's about noticing. Think about Bella, a busy mom of 2. Her mornings used to be a blur of backpacks, breakfast bowls, and rushing to get out the door. She felt disconnected from her body, always exhausted before the day had even begun. At a Buddhist retreat, she discovered mindful movement. It wasn't about complicated yoga poses or hour-long routines. It was about 10 minutes of gentle stretching, done with attention. She started moving slowly each morning, noticing how her feet touched the ground, how her arms lifted with the breath. That small change brought her energy, calm, and a deeper sense of connection with her kids. She was no longer rushing through her body. She was living in it. Here's how you can try mindful movement tomorrow. After your breathing, gratitude, and intention setting, stand up slowly. Take a deep breath in as you roll your shoulders back and down. On your exhale, gently tilt your head from side to side. Raise your arms above your head, feeling the stretch along your sides, and hold for a moment. Pay attention not just to the movement itself, but to the sensations, your muscles stretching, your breath guiding the rhythm. Even a simple walk to the kitchen can become a practice if you take it step by step, noticing the contact of your feet with the ground. Science supports this too. Studies on mindful movement, like yoga and Tai Chi, show improvements in mood, reduced anxiety, sharper focus, and even enhanced brain function. Moving with awareness increases circulation, reduces stress hormones, and tells your nervous system, you are safe, you are grounded, you are here. Let's try it together, right now, even if you're just sitting while listening. Take a breath in. As you exhale, roll your shoulders slowly, feeling each shift. Now, if you can, stand up and stretch your arm above your head. Pause. Notice the expansion of your body. Then release, gently, and return to stillness. Did you feel that subtle shift? That's your body and mind syncing up, a reminder that presence isn't limited to thoughts. It lives in your muscles, your breath, your movement. When you treat your body with mindfulness, you create a partnership that carries you through the day. Instead of ignoring tension until it builds up, you release it early. Instead of moving unconsciously, you move with grace and awareness. And this awareness naturally ripples out into how you eat, how you work, how you rest. So here's my invitation to you. Tomorrow morning, before you rush into your schedule, set aside 10 minutes for mindful movement. It doesn't need to look impressive. Stretch, walk slowly, or simply breathe while lifting your arms in rhythm. Whatever you choose, bring full attention to the act. And if you give it a try, let me know in the comments how it felt. Your experience might be the nudge someone else needs to reconnect with their body. The mind and body are linked. By honoring one, you honor the other. And once you've begun to breathe with awareness, live with gratitude, Carry compassion and set intention. Mindful movement helps weave it all together. But there's still one more step to complete this foundation for your mornings. Something we do every day, often without thinking, yet it holds immense power when approached with mindfulness. The way you eat can either rush you further into stress or bring you back to peace. That's why our next practice is mindful eating, a simple shift that turns your first meal of the day into a meditation on life itself. 6. Mindful eating. Turning breakfast into a meditation. Food is one of the most ordinary parts of life, yet it's also one of the most sacred. Every morning we grab a quick bite, gulp down coffee, and rush out the door. Eating becomes mechanical, something to get over with so we can move on. But in Buddhist practice, eating is an invitation to pause, to notice, and to honor the web of life that brought this meal to your plate. When you practice mindful eating, breakfast is no longer just fuel, it becomes meditation. There's a story of a young monk who used to eat quickly, barely tasting his food. One day the Buddha asked him, "When you eat, do you truly taste your food? Or are you simply filling your stomach?" The monk realized he had been missing something. He was eating without awareness, ignoring the chance to practice mindfulness in one of life's most basic acts. From that moment forward, he slowed down, chewed carefully, and appreciated each bite. What had once been a routine became a doorway to presence. Think of Nick, a corporate professional who always rushed through breakfast. He'd grab a granola bar, eat in the car, and wonder why he felt drained by mid-morning. After attending a mindfulness retreat, he tried mindful eating. Instead of eating while driving, he sat at the table with no phone, no TV. He looked at his food, took a breath of gratitude, and chewed slowly. He noticed flavors he had never paid attention to before. He felt fuller, more energized, and strangely more connected to his day. Eating with mindfulness didn't just improve his mornings, it transformed his entire relationship with food. Here's how you can try it tomorrow. Before you take your first bite, pause. Look at your food. Think about where it came from. The soil, the rain, the farmers, the transporters, the cooks. Acknowledge that countless hands and forces of nature work together to bring this meal to you. Take a breath of gratitude. As you eat, chew slowly. Notice the texture, the flavor, the temperature. Between bites, set your utensils down. Let yourself savor the experience instead of rushing through it. Mindful eating doesn't require special skills. It only requires presence. And the benefits are real. Research shows that mindful eating improves digestion, reduces overeating, lowers stress, and even leads to healthier food choices. When you actually pay attention, you're less likely to eat out of habit or emotion. Instead, you tune in to what your body truly needs. Harvard studies even suggest that mindful eating increases overall satisfaction with meals, making food feel like nourishment rather than just consumption. Let's try a short practice together. Imagine holding a piece of fruit, a strawberry maybe. Instead of popping it into your mouth, you pause. You notice its color, its texture, the way the light reflects on its skin. You bring it close and breathe in its fragrance. When you finally take a bite, you chew slowly, letting the flavor spread fully across your tongue. You don't rush. You notice. That simple act turns an ordinary strawberry into an extraordinary moment of awareness. So tomorrow, whether it's oatmeal, toast, or just a cup of tea, bring mindfulness to the table. Eat slowly, appreciate deeply, and remember that this act, so simple, can align your mind and body with gratitude and presence. And I'd love for you to try this and share your experience in the comments. What's one food you'd like to practice mindful eating with? Is it your morning coffee, your first bite of breakfast, or maybe even just water? Naming it might be the first step toward transforming your mornings. Mindful eating grounds you in the present. It reminds you of connection, gratitude, and the miracle hidden in the ordinary. With mindful breathing, gratitude, compassion, intention, movement, and mindful eating, you now hold 6 powerful habits rooted in Buddhist wisdom. Each one may seem small, but together they shape the way you meet your day and your life. And while these practices already offer a strong foundation, our journey doesn't end here. Because beyond these habits lies something even more subtle yet powerful. The silence between moments, the pauses that give life its rhythm. That's where we'll travel next, into the stillness that carries the true spirit of Zen. And so, we come gently to the close of this journey together. You've walked through breath, gratitude, compassion, intention, mindful movement, and the simple act of eating with awareness. Each habit small enough to weave into your mornings, yet powerful enough to shift the rhythm of your entire life. These aren't just practices, they're invitations to slow down, to notice, to choose presence instead of rushing past it. The truth is, you don't need to master them all at once. Even one small shift, a pause before reaching for your phone, 3 breaths before coffee, a moment of gratitude before breakfast can ripple outward, shaping the tone of your day in ways you may not expect. Like drops of water carving stone, gentle consistency creates transformation. Here on Zen Sleep Stories, we share these teachings not as lofty ideals, but as living practices, things you can carry into tomorrow morning, into next week, into the quiet corners of your life. And if something here has touched you tonight, I'd love to hear about it. Share in the comments what practice you'll try first, or what part of the journey spoke to you most. When you share, you might give someone else exactly the encouragement they need. If you haven't already, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Zen Sleep Stories, and tap the notification bell so you'll know when the next story is ready for you. Each new chapter is a space we carve out together, a place for rest, reflection, and gentle wisdom to ease you into stillness. Now, as your eyes grow heavy and the day begins to fade, let yourself drift. Feel the breath in your chest. Let your thoughts soften like sand washing back into the ocean. The world can wait until morning. For now, you are safe, you are held, and you are enough. And when you're ready, allow yourself to slip quietly into sleep. The next video will be here waiting, guiding you even deeper into the heart of Zen wisdom, where silence itself becomes the teacher. End of script. Sweet dreams.